Hey everybody, what's going on? Just figured I'd go live and see what happens and see if anybody wants to hang out and chit chat around here around this court stuff. And I'll probably be in and out a little bit. Mornings are a little busier here than normal. Other times, I guess, but figured y'all might want to have a place to sit and hang out. If there's anybody else on, let me know. If anybody else has anything else going on, I have no problem with that. And if you guys jump back and forth, of course, it's a fantastic world to do that in. So just kind of getting situated here a little bit. Still drinking some coffee. Kirby's mom. Have at it. Have a fun time. Everybody can go over there and hang out. I'll just keep this on, and whenever you're done, if people can come back. Doesn't bother me at all. That's a perfect situation because your streams are fantastic, and you just kind of brighten everybody's day a whole lot more than I do. So that's a perfect thing. Petty Betty, that's funny. Lisa had so much fun with that the other night and blocking the fruit and veggie emojis. Grammy Heather, if you want to sing something like that, you just go right on ahead. But just know that we can all hear you. Just remember the mirrors and everything. We have access to everyone, everywhere, always. Don't let anybody tell you different. Any word yet? Any word yet on what, Abita? On court? No, really, Kirby's. You want to run it for as long as you want to run it for. Please do. Don't mind me. I'm just here filling a little gap on occasion. Abita, it's just I doubt they're even started yet. It's hard to say when they're on the docket. I don't have anybody in court that's reporting back to me or anything. So, of course, you guys know that if I hear anything, I'll let you know. And if you guys see that DOA goes live, you'll know that he's out. Or if anybody else is able to do any kind of updates or anything. I had to run it down this morning, so I didn't catch everything. But I was listening to some of the stuff. Had him on for a while, and then he went off, and then I was listening to some lady outside making sure she was sitting on security's lap, because of all the fear and loathing in LA. But yeah, 8:30 is the time. Doesn't necessarily mean that they'll be first up. Sometimes there's people go ahead. I mean, you guys know he's gone in a number of times where they didn't even hear his case until after lunch. We always hope for it's the first one, but yeah, Ryder Clout. That works. I love that. And of course that came up. I was listening to it all and watching the comments and what their take on all this is. That all the paparazzi are there for DOA. That's what he thinks, at least. That's what they're going with. It's like, you dumb fucks. I mean, come on. If you're gonna troll, at least make it reasonable. Yeah, Bon Jovi, I agree. It is hilarious with the lady outside, especially shaking in fear of her life, because she's been just threatened so much, and of course now I'm going to catch it for being 2,000 miles away, putting the fear of God in somebody. Oh God. Here we go. Damn, I thought we had pineapples blocked in here. Maybe we don't. Either way. Hey Z, from the courthouse with one bar. Well, good for you for getting one bar. That's awesome. Glad to hear it. I hope you're safe out there. It's a dangerous place you're roaming around in. You never know what lurks around every corner, holding out in the shadows and scaring people. More like jump scaring. The gadfly has entered the courtroom. There you go. Perfect update. I don't know about you guys, but sure could feel a difference in him this morning than days past, and that's a good thing to hear. You know, regardless of what happens, or how things turn out, what the results of the day are, just to see him confident, knowing what he's got going on, and that he's just carrying a lot of knowledge into that courtroom today, and knowing it, that's a good thing. So how's everybody doing today? All right, Z, let us know what's going on when you have a break. You can come in here. I'll try to stay on until he's out, and then if not, you can shoot me a text. But I'm just trying to figure out what's going on with my phone here. Can't get this stream to come up on my phone at all, which is really weird. So you guys talk amongst yourselves while I try to figure this out. And yes, Chi, they will sound the alarms. Same thing with hairpins, bush pins, all those things. All right, I got to figure this out. You'll have a good time for a minute. All right, so I gotta restart my phone. So while it's doing that, yeah, I just saw a comment. I don't know who said it. Sorry, but yeah, I thought a couple people were supposed to be there with their notepads and pencils and pens, taking notes and keeping things on the up and up. So it'd be interesting to see how that plays out. I also thought there's somebody else streaming right now. I thought about maybe turning that on and just critiquing their stupidity while they play out their stupidity. But thought maybe that would be interesting, but I'll let you guys make that call too if you want to hear some really dumb shit going on. They need to make a grand entrance. Well, that would make sense. Rather be as put a spotlight out there. Maybe a mirror ball would work too. You know what, G? When my phone got wiped out, I lost every file I had on it. I used to have all that stuff that I could have added to these live streams and stuff, but I lost all of it. So I'm just slowly rebuilding the inventory of tidbits out there. So it'll take a little bit of time, but let's see what the full brigade is up to.
Let's see here. I'm gonna play a few of these because actually I should play these. Let's see which ones.
You guys hear that?
Oh. Brenda's really going after you. Oh, why? What'd I do now? Oh man. Read what she said. Hold on. Let's see. I'm doing something. Okay, hold on. Run, Charlie, run. Southern Yankee says. She said, good morning, MLH and Dougie and Chad. Good morning to you, Brenda. Nice to have you here. Miss Angie's in the house. What's up, Miss Angie? Nice to have you here. MLH sounds like you were sleeping too close to the crack.
You guys are so fucking funny.
I wish I had some of that right now.
God, this is funny.
I need a little pick me up. I don't do that shit though. Nanny says, MLH, did you hear him say he beats to his own drum last night? I did not, Nannies. But why does that
beaten? Where have I heard that before?
See, we're listening to this fool because he's a fool, and I like it. Exposing people that are fools that don't think they're fools.
No idea.
And it just gets dumber and dumber by the minute. So sometimes
it's not fun size.
It's where you have to laugh about it. And the one thing we don't have here is hold on a second. Turn him off. The one thing I can tell you that you will never find in this chat or on this stream is a bunch of fake laughter, because that fake laughter just really identifies really quick how fake you really are as a person. And it seems like that whole panel practices that shit before they come on. And there's so much strain to do it. Mind-blowing. Chi, as far as links and stuff, you can link anything you want, anywhere you want. Half of it, I'm not going to know what you're doing, and that's okay. I'm totally fine with that. And the other thing too, if anybody wants to come up on the panel here, I got it set up where I can invite people. Like I said, if I have contact with you, I'm still not really to the point of just putting a link in the chat. That's just too much of a hassle for a lot of these people. But if anybody wants to come up, let me know, and I'll get you the link. And it's not just me talking. But I'll turn this fool back on for a minute and see what they're doing.
Yeah. I mean, can you guys give us one reason why he shouldn't dye his beard like that? I mean, I don't. I mean,
because he's not 3 years old, maybe.
Very proper thing. There's another one, y'all. I'll play all these, and then we'll get started with the main show. Man, I'm having too much fun already.
Oh my god, the fun is a blast. Yeah, one thing I'll say, I was watching some of the comments, and in the outside coverage out there this morning. I think they're starting to think about what the hell they've been doing this whole time, because I actually saw somebody say, I really hope the DA had a lovely holiday and that they're prepared to come in and uphold the integrity of the community, or something to that effect. Basically sucking up to the DA through the live. And it's like, dude, you're a little late, buddy. You're just a little fucking late to the party here, because you guys have just probably annihilated the mind of the DA. Yeah, and you're exactly right. There's so many of them that if they don't talk about DOA or Boofer or whatever you want to say, they have nothing. They just have no content. They can't talk. They can't just sit there and express their thoughts or otherwise without throwing that into it. So just like right now, probably somebody down in the Nolan's area that's doing the same thing. But all right, give me a minute. I gotta try to do something here. Oh, this is great. This is interesting. Or not.
Continuance today, because he's totally
Guess who showed up for the shit show?
By the beginning of summer, actually, I think probably within 3 months, this thing will be wrapped up. 3 to 4 months is my guess, but it could be all the way up to the beginning of summer. I know, Kitty, I know. But yeah, so now, not only does he hate you, he's suing you. I don't know what he's suing you for,
Girl.
but he's suing you.
Good morning, Kitty.
Hi, good morning.
Sorry, I didn't.
My
Yeah.
ears. I'm not supposed to get shit in them. Oh.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry about that. I didn't mean to dump in there, but little dear sister just showed up, and I thought, oh my god,
Aw. Talk about
What a-
this. Who?
what a joy!
How do people like that get implanted?
I really don't know. I mean, it's
When
just
you know.
that's one of the most bizarre situations I think I've ever encountered in my life. That a sibling can be so phony and so hateful all at the same time.
You'd think that the gravity of the dribble would have redirected them,
Yeah,
onto the mattress pad where they belonged. But
right. At least an inner leg or inner thigh or something. I mean, it's really weird how all of a sudden it's superstardom. They're just they need a star in the Walk of Fame or something, because they come in and just destroy their sibling like that publicly for no apparent reason whatsoever.
yeah, I mean, I have something to say about something Scotty said last night.
Yes, have at it.
That man can't afford to find out if he has any more ancestors to disappoint on Christmas without presents. I'm so happy to be able to choose who I love, despite their DNA and whatever we might have in common in that area. Would you, are you interested in seeing any or knowing
Yeah.
about any family members? It's just more fucking people to fucking bug you.
Yeah, no, not at all. I have plenty, and that's enough, and more than enough most of the times. And I just the one that got me is him talking about, you know, whether there's little Scotties running around out there. It's like, damn, dude, just be quiet. The images that can create, and a whole host of other angles we could go with that is more than I want to get into. But yeah, you know,
For the
there's
most
a
part, I've
reason.
been pretty lucky with my
Yeah,
family, but it's so much better to be able to know somebody and choose to have them in your life. It's, I mean, not that I don't love family and appreciate, of course I do. I really am Mexican. I just don't pretend to be one. And that means you were born there. You don't even know fucking Spanish. So anyway,
right.
just wanted to make sure I plucked my chin pubes. Oh yeah, they're gone.
Yeah,
All right.
that's usually a pretty good indication of you know, heritage, is when you brag up on that stuff. But I got to tell you that one of the most joyful moments I've ever had, and the most entertaining things I've ever seen out of that whole, you know, shit show that they call whatever they call it, is when he was forcefully given lessons in how to speak like a Mexican on his live. Oh my God, it was just, he got so pissed off at Pinche for correcting him and really hammering him, and I'm like, oh my, this is just, you can't get a better shit show program than this.
Beaner Wars. I can say it.
Yeah, hey, why not?
You can't.
Absolutely. And you can say it here too. I mean,
Because I'm a real Mexican long hair bitch. Cabroncito. Not you. You're neither. Hi, Lisa.
Yeah. I got to get Lisa out. Lisa's in doing her thing in the other room, but
Good.
she I don't know if she's listening or not. She might even be in the chat. I'm just not paying attention. But yeah, it is just, when he started going off on people talking about calling ICE on him, I'm like, you hammer the point that you're born here, blah, blah, blah. What the fuck are you even talking about? Why take something like that and try to make an issue of it when it's not an issue? Just because you've got a name like this, and you have long hair and chin pubes and all that stuff, and you know, you talk like you know how to make, you know, burritos and tacos and, you know, all this other crap.
That
And then,
fucker buys the fucking Taco Bell
yes,
packaged setup tacos with. Come on.
yeah.
Come
If you
on.
watch his
He's never fried a tortilla in his fucking life.
yeah, if you watch his live, he's got mild sauce, Taco Bell mild sauce on his dash.
Of course he does.
Right? Bacon in the sun, blown up like little Mexican condoms or something.
Like Lucy Ricardo's tulips melting in the sun. Oh, the
Yes.
wax ones, not the real ones.
Yeah. You know what? You know what I would have fun with, by the way, just to put it out there, because I'm just looking at my phone saying, I would love to have Miss Kitty come up on our panel, on my panel. I would enjoy that tremendously.
Miss Kitty, or I prefer Miss Kitten. She does
Yeah.
Eurotrash electro music. It's great.
Nice. I don't know. I just think it would be fun. You know, they all want to talk about my commentary on that whole thing. It's like, let's go face to face with the commentary.
But why do they even care if you're insignificant?
Yeah. Well, I'm boring too, so
Right,
it's amazing
so
it's amazing how boring I am, but they can catch every fucking word I say.
can you imagine having an existence where you must do boring things and you aren't getting paid for it by the hour because you're a fucking moron, jobless, unemployable, idiot, lazy motherfucker? Do you know that the chocolate mud monster from Candyland?
I don't.
Is it a muck monster? It just looks like a big pile of shit, actually. And I can't believe YouTube lets those things have channels.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, it really isn't much more than that. And for, you know, 9 months, nine months, it's like, I can't comprehend it most of the time. You know, I pay attention to it because there's some, you know, and you and I have talked about, you know, people being relevant and irrelevant, and you know, we agree on probably 95% of that issue, that topic. But I enjoy documenting the things that they don't understand are being documented, that should be documented, and they don't have a clue. They really don't. You know, the stuff that will genuinely come back to haunt them someday.
Things they wouldn't understand.
No,
Things they couldn't understand. Things they shouldn't understand.
Yeah, I mean, it's just crazy. And I mean, I literally, and it's not just them; it's a bunch of the others too. You know, our New Orleans boy. I swear, for 6 months I've tried to keep him out of jail by telling them, hey, you're doing this wrong. You're breaking the law. You're doing this. You're doing that, and they don't listen. And it's like they need to understand that there's a whole lot of people that used to give a shit about these things and for them and otherwise, but they've melted the whole system down around their ankles, and there's no way they can reach down and grab it and pick it back up and make sense of it anymore.
Well, they're not even smart enough to realize that they're doing this because they've been manipulated into it.
Yeah.
They're so fucking stupid. It's like you want it's like a horny guy. And there's potential vaginal penetration walking down the street, and they just got to chase it. They can't control themselves. Yeah. They have zero self-control and zero understanding of themselves, zero inability to be introspective. So they wouldn't be able to see how foolish they look, and the fact that there are multiple people laughing at them because of their ability to manipulate them into doing whatever, because they're stupid, they're jobless, they have no, and it's not a problem to be jobless. For some people, you know, that doesn't mean that they're worthless, but for MLH, I don't really know his worth. I don't know, maybe at the beef factory by the pound, it might, I don't know.
Well, the thing of it is it's not, he doesn't see himself as jobless. That's one of his biggest problems.
He doesn't see himself as what? I'm sorry.
As jobless.
Oh.
You know, I mean, he looks at what he does on YouTube as his job, as his living, as his livelihood. And, you know, that includes begging for car registrations and stuff like that from time to time. But I've never heard anybody talk about, they've been doing this for 20 years. And yet they run one channel that has 4 or 5 people on it. Never more. Never. I mean, I maybe saw 6 once, but that's it. And then the other thing they do, if they have, you know, 100 viewers, 60 of them are us. You know, just keeping up with the insanity. And he considers that, and he talks about it all the time, how he's got to put it overtime and when he's going to work, and he doesn't have time for this, and it's
that's
hilarious.
Rationalization. I think that's more of an excuse that he's spun and believes himself.
Yes.
I don't even think that he's saying that to try to convince people so nobody calls. I think he really does. He has to keep telling himself that, because his failure as a parent. Oh, but he didn't. Whatever. How about the person who makes the main choices in his life? And this is what you're doing, pretending to fall in the police station like Chevy Chase, but like half his height.
Yeah, pratfalls are always a popular thing, you know. I thought you were going to say pretending to be a Mexican.
Well, I mean, there's that too.
I'm not allowed to say that either. But.
I don't know. I have a question for you now. Do you think, all right, we already know that Danny, as a real Mexican, was totally taken out by a pinche jalapeno.
Yep.
Do you think a regular old green pepper would send MLH to the emergency room? I'd like to have a tortilla slap match with that.
And here's, I'll say yes, right off the bat, I'll say yes. And the reason I say yes is because he says he can handle more. So,
okay.
As soon as I heard him say he can handle more, and that you know, that was one thing he went after DOA about, was that he couldn't handle spicy foods. And I was like, what? Why? And then he went into this little brag routine about, you know, his history and his heritage, and of course he can handle spicy foods. It's unbelievable. No, I watch him with his performative stuff all the time. He does this thing, you know, put in the overtime where anytime he's going to go live, if someone else, on his quote unquote side is live, he'll go in and he'll chat for a couple minutes, say hi to every single person there, and then say, all right, well, I've got a lot to do today. I'm going to get going here. And then he's live a half an hour later. And it blows my mind what you said before about that's what he believes. I know that's what he believes. It's not, I don't think it is a performance for anyone else but himself. And I think he's convinced himself over all this time that he's got this great worth. I mean, he swears up and down he is well known throughout the Denver metro area. And someday
Well, so the crackhead and shits himself and jacks off at the Del Taco up the street over here in Riverside. He's well known.
Yeah, absolutely. One of these days, I'm gonna make my way to Denver, and I'm gonna walk around the streets of Denver, and I'm just gonna say, do you know who MLH is? Are you a fan of MLH? And I'm gonna record every fucking response, and I'm gonna post it on the internet.
They're gonna say MLH,
just to be real about it. And I'm gonna read off every single response, and if they say who, that's what I'll say. If they say who the fuck is that, that's what I'll say.
Is that what he calls his bra, AJ? A vest? Oh.
Now you're talking about pit sweat and everything else, and that's just going to get real fast.
Every white shirt is stained yellow.
Yeah, and that's another thing. That's why I've kind of implemented that into my dialogue at times. A lot is I don't have any problem with someone saying occasionally, but one of his tells when he's lying and trying to convince others of his lies is he says, he'll say 100 times when he's lying to people, and how his chat doesn't catch that, I don't know, but it's hilarious how hard he tries to be relevant.
Well, he's a try hard. That's really all he is, and yeah. I feel kind of a pang of discomfort even offering him relevance with my greatness, discussing him. I mean, I'd rather right now, I think I'd rather be talking about anal fissures or like oozing pussy bed sores from somebody who's incontinent on the benches at the city council meeting. It's really yeah, once all of this is done, it's going to be hilarious to see what they're going to do to try to spin it when Scotty is in a better place than he was last year, and MLH is in the same place he was 20 years ago when he began his YouTube career.
Exactly right. And what I see, I guess my place or my position on this, from my own being is, I don't like bullies. I've never stood for bullies. I've never handled them well. I've confronted them since I was actually pretty young. And I especially don't like people who aren't bullies, but act like they're a bully. And I think that's what these guys do, is they try to bully people into, some train of thought or some, response. Like, for example, he called my YouTube channel a tiny little corner of the internet. Okay, that was his attempt of a slam on me, which made me laugh a little bit. But I could just say right now, I'm looking at his thing. It says 116 people, and he's been on for 20 years. Up now it's down to 111. He's been on for 20 years, and he's a professional. And this is humorous because as I'm saying this, his went down to 111. Mine just went to 113. I've been doing this for 2 fucking weeks. So if we want to have a big little dick contest, I'm kind of kicking your ass right now, MLH. You pussy.
That's true. Just like a rock star, I know he's pretty good at clearing rooms.
Yeah, So that's why I do it the way I do it, and I try not to dwell on it too much when I go on lives and stuff. But I think that there's a certain point where, I guess I feel like he's been able to get away with this stupidity for 9 months, almost unchallenged, and it's grown into a point where it is a communication center for the stupidity that DOA has to deal with. And right now he's dealing with stuff that's serious, and they're never serious about anything.
No, they make no impact on the world other than
Yeah.
their carbon and if he sits somewhere and breaks something.
Right. Yeah.
But I do want to say, I really appreciate the point that you brought up, and I'd love to hear you expand on it a little bit later because I got to go. But the fact that that Emily is trying to be a bully, but just isn't good or effective at it. And he's still trying. Isn't that sweet? Poor little guy. It's like, what was it? A one-legged man in an ass-kicking contest. A one-legged Mexican. It's not going to work. You're not good at it. You're not funny. You can't roast. Your friends can't boil water. And your other friend does look like a goblin face. Those little squishy balls that have the faces on them from the 80s that you'd be able to squish and everything would become bulbous. I don't know why God did that to one of those balls and gave it life and needle tits, but who am I to question the great one?
Yeah. I think one point of that is that comes true. And I actually brought it up earlier, is the fake laughter. When you have to fake laughter, you're not funny. And I'll just repeat that one more time for the people in the cheap seats. If you have to fake laughter, if you have to fake enjoyment of hearing something that you think is funny, it's not funny and you're not funny. That's all there's to it. Life is that simple. If something's funny, you laugh at it. If something's not funny, you're not supposed to laugh at it, because you look like a fucking idiot when you do that. And I think that applies to pretty much their entire existence as it is. The things they come up with, the cartoons and the songs and the ads and the dialogues and repeating Scott's words. And this is one that really, I think, bothers me as much as anything out there, because I'm hearing more and more people talk about, let me turn this thing down. I hear more and more people talk about, we're using his own words against him. It's like, fuck you. You're not using his own words against him. You're manipulating his words, and you're taking them out of context and twisting them into something you think they are. So you're not really using his own words against him, because the rules, when you change the rules of the game doesn't count. And to me, they don't count. The problem I have is this whole thing of them trying to interfere in his court cases. And I think more attention needed to be brought to that, because at some point that becomes a liability to the system, not even so much to Scott, but when you've got that type of influence, and whether it's a DA or anyone is going to use that stuff and accept it and take it into an actual courtroom in front of a judge, that's a fucking problem, because that's not how our system's supposed to work. So, and I could go on about some of that stuff for a long time.
Right. I also think they have a reliance on the incompetence of the justice system.
Yes.
And they have a completely wrong idea of how their influence is impacting Scotty's case. Look, you've been doing this for 20 years. All right. If maybe 1 hour out of 1 week of those 20 years, if you had taken a Spanish class, you might be bilingual. Necesitas tomar una clase en español, cabrón. Okay. You can do that if you want. Maybe you can fool more people into thinking that you're Mexican instead of just a fucking fake ass Frito Bandito. I miss those commercials. I thought they were cool.
Me too.
Remember them?
They were awesome. Yeah. I worked for Frito-Lay for a while. So they play a special part in my heart. I used to have,
really? I have a family member who was way up in the admin of Frito-Lay and recently retired, like way up. He can't sell the extra chips. So I've lost a little bit of weight since last year, and I think it's because we're not getting free Doritos anymore.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, let me tell you, I get that. I worked at Coke and then I worked at Frito-Lay, and both places, the freebies that you get were not good for you. I can just tell you that. That's not a good commercial. But
much like the freebies that you get from harm reduction specialists, probably stolen from other harm reduction. They're not good for you.
Yeah,
don't do it.
Well, it's not a license thing. It's just a certification, so we don't have to worry about it.
I can print one out for you.
That was a commentary from this morning. Yeah, that was a commentary from this morning. I don't know if you heard it or not. Still bitching about that Scott took it as a license thing or I think she said licensed, and he didn't understand the difference between licensed and certified. I'm like, fuck you. He would certainly understand the difference if you would explained it just one time.
Can I
One
ask
time.
you something?
That's all it would have taken.
Would you brag about being involved in a pilot program that completely failed because of your involvement with
right?
it?
Yeah, right.
It's a
Yeah,
pilot program. They send it out to see if it'll work, and then they put Becky on the team. And why would you be proud of that? That's like being proud of being part of the Australian breakdancing team. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? We should be embarrassed.
And they printed certificate on like 14-pound paper instead of 40-pound certification text or stock. And it's like everything about it was just bullshit from the beginning. And the reason it was ever a problem is she never acknowledged that. She never acknowledged it. And I can tell you exactly when it happened that there was no turning back is when the ladies from Circle showed up and said, oh, we have a certified harm reduction specialist on here, and she has a printed out certificate, and that's just going to put us on the map, and it's really going to make a difference, and blah, 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 blah. How do you step back from that? I get that. I mean, there was a lot of pressure on her to be something special.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I'll give her that. There's no doubt. But it would have only taken one statement to say more clearly what it was about instead of letting people run with it. And whether it was Scott calling her out or it was somebody else saying something about it. And I can, I'll go back to that time and say one of the reasons she got called out on it is because people were saying, hey, you need to recognize Becky as something special in this thing because she's got a piece of paper that says she's special.
Well, that's all she wanted was the admiration for being special. So yeah, we have to acknowledge it.
Right. And I mean, like I said, here we are. That's been how long? 2 years now? And that was part of her fucking dialogue this morning. That was part of her dialogue. I listened to her last night. I wish I would have gotten a transcript from that because I would have a lot to say about that shit this morning.
She's been involved in this for 2 years, talking about it every single day. And she had to ask her chat to tell her how to explain to her husband why she's upset with Scotty the Great.
Yes.
She rubbed his abs like a crystal ball, and they said, we want somebody else. And then, they gave her the answer.
Yeah. And the thing, it's even more specific than that. It's not that she's been involved with it. It's not that she's been focused on Scott. Those two things are meaningless in and of themselves. The reason she's been involved with it for 2 years is because she has polished the victim application every minute of every day for 2 years and has made this every time something comes up, I don't care what it is, she talks about how she was attacked, how she was harmed, how and which is really ironic for a harm reduction specialist. She thinks she'd be able to cover herself.
Not ironic for somebody who's taken Scientology courses.
Yeah, so these are the things, and this kind of can circle back around to a much bigger observation, but these are the things that should make everyone go, why are we seeing all this? Why is this happening with these people? This particular group of people, this type of person, why did they say that instead of this? Why did they do that instead of do this? And you've got to, at some point, start scratching your head saying, okay, that doesn't make sense. I need to understand why, or not talk about it, or not be involved in it. But that's one weakness I think this whole, quote unquote community has had, is they have not had the ability to see those things that were right in front of us. And we should have.
Sorry, AJ, stop it. Fucking terrible. I'm trying to listen. It's very serious. And he's making a very good point. And we have AJ fucking being funnier than I am. Stop.
Damn it, AJ. Take it down a notch.
Don't stop. I love it so much. All right.
And I'm actually staring out the window at snow and ice. So
it's sunny here. It's a beautiful sunny day.
Yeah, I had to run in town this morning and get a couple things, and I basically slid down our driveway almost out to the highway without.
Like Becky slides down benches.
Yes, yeah. And then I came back up to it like a bush.
The incontinence champion of the world.
So anyhow, yeah, I haven't been reading chat, and I'm sorry about that, but I'm probably missing some really good, funny stuff.
When you have a brain like yours, I like it to be focused on the one thing you're talking about. I get enough ADHD distraction commentary on the other channel with the defender there. So I
Yeah,
appreciate how you handle it.
I don't know. I try to contribute something, and then other times I don't try to contribute anything. And for me, it's got to be a kind of an on and off thing. Got to have.
Well, you mean like
gotta,
when somebody's addicted or not addicted?
yeah, I mean,
You haven't had a cigarette for 6 months. I'm going to pull one out of my purse right now and a Xanax I don't take. I'm not a junkie. I'm recovered.
right. It's all those things. I mean, it's. I think the biggest problem everybody has is it not turning it off sometimes, even for an hour or two, because especially looking at these fools over here doing this thing for 9 months straight, 3 times a week plus a shit show on Saturdays. Check your local listings for more details.
I'll leave you with this, if I may.
Yes, please.
When they're done with YouTube and it's off, all they have is what they've built in their own lives. Wouldn't you jump right back onto fucking YouTube to escape that if you were in their spot? I definitely would. I'd be as junkied up as all of these fucking can't boil water people. And sometimes I wonder if Becky cuts the vegetables with her bloody finger and she doesn't wash her hands and like touching all the chicken and stuff, maybe that's what made Danny sick. But anyway, she and everybody, it's obvious that your existence is miserable. I'm not saying that just to be mean. It's very obvious to everybody. Just like my struggles are obvious, and I don't hide them. Your vulnerabilities, not you, David and Lisa, but you let out way more than you think about yourselves and how you feel about yourselves, and your level of happiness and whatever's going on with your life is it must be so sad. And I almost pity them. I kind of understand why they would do something like this, because that's what miserable people do. They spend all day trying to make others miserable, so they are not the only ones.
Right.
They're poisoning themselves, just like with my involvement with the other community, catfishing these guys and humiliating them and all that. It was really fun, but when it became something that was always in my head, things that I could say or jokes that I could make, or the disgusting things they would say and the things that they've done, you're poisoning yourself if you keep doing that. And what we see is a thoroughly poisoned fake Emily and a bulbous faced goblin vape bush bitch and all of their friends. The the meth addicted burglar that has a lot of money in somebody's solar charger. Some of them are sent with a purpose, and some of them actually have no fucking purpose. So what they're doing on
they're searching for it as opposed to being sent for or sent by it.
Exactly.
No
They're longing for admiration and a thumbs up from strangers, all of these accolades, which mean nothing. They're working so hard for it, and they're going to be just as empty next year as they are now, with just as tiny chat and viewers and stupid fluffy AI bullshit behind a bunch of lies and fake surgeries. And I was at the hospital. There are so many things that shout, I am insecure, I'm so unhappy with myself, while you're shouting the opposite, trying to convince us. Not everybody is as stupid as those who pretend to like you. A lot of them are laughing at you. A lot of them is like one person laughing with maybe another person with 6 different chatter names. And when they're done with you, your views are going to go back to like 8, not even 10, not even double digits, dude.
Yeah. And when they're laughing, it's fake laughter. You got to keep that in mind. And they don't realize that either. They can't identify it now because they're so used to the fake laughter. They don't know what real laughter is anymore. The other thing that I'll kind of layer on top of everything you just said, I agree with 100%.
Thanks.
But I'll throw this on top of it is when you watch people break other people down and beat them down, insulting them, defaming them, all categories of attacking someone with for the only purpose that could be tallied from this is to build themselves up. When you have to beat other people down, when you have to try to degrade people, when you have to talk bad about other people to make yourself feel superior, to make yourself feel more relevant, you've got a problem. And I think that goes along with the whole addiction thing. It fits that path perfectly, and they don't see that, and that's what their problem is. Everything you said, and that on top of it, they don't see it. They don't see any of it.
Right.
And I guess I feel like I'm here to kind of point it out to them sometimes. Do I dwell on it? No, fuck no. I got if these fools knew what my day was like, their head would explode.
If your continued involvement in your own behavior is detrimental to your progress in life and brings you things that you don't want there, and you continue in that behavior, that's disordered thinking, disordered behavior, and it's a whole disordered chat. And not that we are perfect, because absolutely we're not, but I think that we have on our side the ability and the humility to admit or see where there's an issue, and then the strength to address it. And courage is something that people have, bravery, despite fear. It's not like fearlessness. It's not insanity, fucking schizo insanity, schizo goatness. It is very much disordered. And with us and our own issues, I mean, at least we're not doing that. Many of us might be in the same place we were last year. But maybe not in our careers, 20 years as a YouTuber, and you're not. I think also that he's trying to convince his partner, who is the breadwinner, that he's working all day long when he's on the computer, like whatever he's doing on his little booster seat all day long.
Yeah, and I agree with that too. I mean, that is something that, again, that they don't recognize, that he does try to do that, and he talks about it quite often. Actually, he really stresses his schedule, how hard he works, and everything else. He talks about how wonderful she is. I'm not gonna knock him for that, because he does talk well about his significant other.
Well, yeah, she'd fucking throw him out if not. What the fuck worth is he to her? He looks like I won't even say that.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's this is it. He does that, but he follows it up with 5 things about how hard he works, or what his contributions are, like it's some kind of equal playing field, and it's just not. Because when you've got to come on and beg for car registration, there's an issue, and when you get called out on it and you get all butthurt over that and try to spin it into something else, that's a problem. And these people that go through life with these problems that won't take the time to recognize what they are, they're doomed to live it till the day they die. That's all there is to it. They are destined to failure.
Well, that's their punishment. Some people believe in the magic of karma. If you are who you are, all of your behaviors, they're patterns. Okay, there's usually nothing brand new that just pops up with nothing. And what you're doing and the way that you communicate and interact with the world and how you handle your responsibilities, the consequences happen. So we've seen what happens when you live the kind of life that Becky lives. You look 30 years older than you are. I can't believe she's my age. Yeah. Holy fuck. Now I'm sitting here. This is what I look like. I don't need somebody who's not my husband to buy me dresses and send me a limo and slap my ass and make jokes about fucking me like Rip Guy does.
That's not weird at all. That's just not weird at all.
No,
that's not weird. That's totally normal. Completely normal. Whether it's in a bush or not, it's totally normal.
Yeah, Yeah. Well, I have to do something that MLH never does, which is actually work and earn money by doing things that I need my brain for.
Yeah. That brain's a really weird thing, isn't it? Gets in the
Even
way
for being in her
sometimes.
50s, Judy. I'm sorry. She looks
Yeah.
60.
Well, I mean, I don't go on camera, and everybody knows why I don't go on camera, and I don't explain that much anymore. I don't care to. The people that need to know it, and that's fine. But uh, I, you know, I get the same curiosities in my head. It's like, why can't you see this? And then the whole dress thing. I'm sorry, that's just weird. There's no other way to look at that. They want, and they make jokes about it and everything else, but then they turn around and they get butthurt by the same type of joke from somebody else. It's like there's no connection to reality with the whole thing. That's really the biggest issue of this whole situation.
They
Is,
have to pretend that it's a joke.
yeah, their
Because then it
reality
will
is so
hurt them.
distorted. Yeah,
There you go.
and when it runs into reality, it hurts. I think it really they get hurt. You know, some people get butt hurt, some people just get heart hurt. But when reality crashes into their alleged reality, that's a hard thing to face.
Well, that's why Scientology, I believe, is so successful with some people, because we have these fucking delusionals who need to be told that their perception, their perspective, things from their point of view that they've observed to be true, that's the truth. And when you incorporate that and put that filter in your head when you hear these fucking bozos talk, you will recognize who was sent and who has Scientology training. Just listen
Yes.
for the "that's my truth" shit.
Yeah.
It's so easy, you guys. It's so much easier than actually my friend telling me who they are. Because
Yeah, and the big thing with that, I think that's what I said before about things right in front of our faces that we didn't catch on to when we probably should have. I guess the only out to that is they've been doing this shit for decades and they're really good at it. You know, they've experienced, and when it didn't work, they tried to make it work, and they keep over and over and over trying to make it work, and that makes you really good at what you're doing, whether it's effective or not. You're really good at doing what you're supposed to do, and
right.
not recognizing that and not being able to see it when it is clearly right there. I mean, this community and the basis for this community is so rotten because of that stuff. When what I've said many times to people is, if you see or hear something that doesn't make sense, question it. Period. Don't even hesitate. If it doesn't make sense to a normal functioning human brain in the society of, you know, of which we live, and it doesn't matter where you live in it, if you're in it, if it doesn't make sense to you, there's a reason why it doesn't.
Well, yeah.
And I think the fact that a lot of people have started to see those, to realize what those differences are and identify them and kind of monitor and keep track of where they're coming from, the repetition identifies it. You know,
I think the dose of copium that these people take to make them feel better, and don't do copium, kids. They push it onto other people just like a pusher would do. I don't know, maybe somebody with a burglary and meth charge who has a lot of money might do something like that. I don't know. But I believe that that's really a bad thing. It teaches you to be okay with your bad choices, because you are using that to cope with your sad feelings, all of these stupid facts and realities that they build within themselves when they are thinking of another person. Well, he shits in a bucket, so it doesn't matter that much that he's way more attractive than I am. Well, he's homeless, so it doesn't really matter that much that he's way more effective than I am. Well, sometimes his nose runs, so it doesn't really matter that he's funnier than I am. All of those things matter. All of those things are why he has a lot of viewers. And you are still sitting there stagnant like shit water on a forgotten sewer. So I love you guys. I gotta go. We love Lisa so much.
Thanks, Chief. Appreciate it.
Thank you for letting me on. All right.
100%. Thanks for coming. Bye, Chi. Come back anytime. Love talking to you. Everybody loves hearing you talk. Everybody. Well, maybe not everybody. You know, right? You know. I appreciate you immensely. I'll say it out loud 100 times over, and then 100 times more. I appreciate what comes out of your brain, what comes out of your mouth, and more people need to hear that stuff because it does matter. It really does. I mean, the biggest thing with this, I think everybody can take from it is when you use a delusion as a coping mechanism, it's never going to end well for you. It's never going to work out in your favor. And that's what these people don't understand because they can't identify the delusions. And therefore, they're in an endless cycle. And I think that brings us back to all of what these people are doing. Hey, David, since you are being restrained, ask well, boy, how's fake lawyer meeting went? How'd your fake lawyer meeting go? You can answer. Come on. See if you can answer that without using the pineapple emoji. One time. Go ahead. Let us know. Let us know how the fake meeting went without using a pineapple. Please and thank you. Bye. All right. Give me a couple minutes here, folks. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. Sorry about that. What did I miss? Anything good? Any news yet? Is he in there? Is he still in, or is he on, or what's going on? Scott's on. Cool. Let's all go see what's going on. Thanks for hanging out, everybody. See you about. See you out there. I'll end this and maybe come back on later on. Love you, Chi. Thank you so much.